Hello everyone, Electrical Squid here. So in this video, I'm going to be going over everything I would like to see in Splatoon 3. A lot of these ideas are something that I think Nintendo should definitely add into the game, and some others I don't really expect to be in the game, but I do think would be cool ideas that I think would bring some form of enjoyment to players. So without further ado, let's get started. Also, I would like to mention that not all of these ideas are mine. Some of them are coming from either other Splatooners or my friends and fans. So yeah, but I'm just mentioning them again just because you know I really agree with them. So yeah. First of all, Splatoon 3 definitely needs to have more content as soon as it comes out. Splatoon 1 and 2 were pretty lackluster in terms of the content they had when they first came out. Like, Splatoon 1 only had 5 maps, and that's pretty lacking. So, give Splatoon 3, like, I don't know, maybe 10 maps, and it should be good, as well as some more weapons. This next thing is something that I'm sure every player is gonna want to have in the the third game. And that is the ability to skip the news. Sitting through the news in Splatoon 1 was pretty annoying, and they made it even slower in the second game, which made it even more annoying. So yeah, if Splatoon 3 is going to have news, please allow us to skip it. This next idea that I think would be really cool to have is an offline and online version of Splatsville, the name of the new city, where in the online version, you would be able to interact with other players. So basically how I think this would work is there would be multiple lobbies capped at 20 players, you know, just to prevent overpopulation, and there'd be basic chat options like hi, goodbye, and stuff like that. Obviously, we don't want players to type whatever they want because that would give them the ability to type explicit stuff, and we don't want that. So yeah, and another thing that online Splatsville should have is like a party system. So a player would be able to create a party and invite other players to join them in like private battles, league battles, and salmon run. I think that would really help take away the tedious process of adding friends just so they could join salmon run, league, and private battles. So yeah, I think that would be very helpful. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 has a similar thing where you can go to Kanton City, the main lobby in the game, either offline or online, and if you chose online, you could interact with other players and you'd be able to recruit them to play with you in battles or quests. So yeah, that is something I think would definitely work out well for Splatoon 3. Another idea that I think would be really cool is apartments. In the trailer, it showed a very tall building with a bunch of windows and air conditioners sticking out of it, which definitely looks like an apartment complex, and I think it'd be cool if we'd be able to buy an apartment for a certain amount of coins, and we'd be able to customize our character there, and we'd be able to upgrade the apartment room. Now, I'm not sure what kind of other features the apartment would have. Like, I don't know, maybe we could check the rotations, if they're gonna have rotations. I certainly hope not. On the computer or something like that. That's really all I can think about for apartments. So, but I'm sure they would add more. And if you guys have any ideas of what apartments should have, I would certainly like to hear it. Also, another little thing I'd like to see is Nintendo, please add red ink to normal battles, not just Splatfest battles. Pretty please. Okay. Another thing I think they should do is bring every battle soundtrack from Splatoon 1 and 2 and bring it into Splatoon 3. I think that'd be really cool to have, especially for nostalgia reasons. And also allow players to choose what battle soundtrack they'd like to hear before they play. I think that'd be really nice to have. I also think it'd be cool if they added the Now or Never soundtrack to ranked battles. I think that would really help make the match feel more tense, and it would, you know, really get the adrenaline going a lot more. And also, I think it'd be cool if they added a dedicated overtime soundtrack. I also think that would help make the match, you know, feel more intense, and yeah, I just think it would sound really cool. I would say one of the biggest problems with Splatoon 1 and 2 is both games have so little to do playing offline. Like, all you have are the single player campaigns, like, you know, Hero Mode and Octo Expansion, and that's really it for offline play. So like, if a player has bad internet or no internet at all, that's pretty much the whole game. So yeah, Nintendo definitely needs to give us more to do offline. One thing that I definitely think they should do, and something I've wanted since the first game, is to be able to play Turf War or the ranked modes or Salmon Run against AIs or, you know, computer players. So basically how this would work is you go into a private battle and you could add AI players and, you know, fill up the slots with them and oh, excuse me. And you'd be able to adjust their level of intelligence or, you know, how well they play or, you know, the difficulty. And you'd be able to equip them with whatever weapon you want them to use or just a random weapon. And this would also go for gear and abilities. So yeah, this would definitely help new players get a feel for how the game works before they go online, and this would also make them not have to play against players who could already be a lot better than them. So yeah, this would just be a really nice thing to have to do offline, and yeah, I'm just really surprised they haven't done this in the first or second game. So yeah, Nintendo, if you could, definitely add an AI mode. And while we're on the topic of AIs, if a player happens to disconnect during a match, please make it so that an AI copy of that player would replace them, just to make the match at least a little more even than in the first two games. Because, you know, in the first two games, if a player DC'd, that's it, they're gone. It's pretty much just a 4v3 or 4v2, 4v1 or whatever. So yeah, that left the match really uneven and really unfair. So yeah, please make it, if you're gonna have AIs in the game, please make it so an AI copy of a disconnected player would replace them, just to make the match at least a little bit even. Something that I think should definitely be added to private battles, league battles, and salmon run lobbies are the option to either make them private or public. So yeah, making them public would definitely help take away the tedious process of adding friends and inviting them to the lobby. So, and also, players should be able to name the lobby, and you should be able to choose what skill they're looking for from players, and they should also be given an option to kick or ban unwanted players. Kick, they would just be kicked out of the lobby, of course, and ban them, they wouldn't be able to join that lobby again. So yeah, these would be really nice options for private battles, league battles, and salmon run lobbies. And also another thing I think private battles should have are custom ink color combinations. Splatoon 2's private battles kind of had that, but it's only an option if you play Splatfest battles, and you only have a limited amount of combos to choose from. So yeah, custom ink color combinations I think would be a pretty fun idea. Another fun thing I think they should add is to bring spectate mode to turf, ranked, and league, and salmon even maybe. Splatoon 2 had spectate mode, but it was only a thing in private battles. So yeah, I think they should definitely add this to turf, ranked, league, and maybe even salmon run. So you could watch other players play from an overhead view or watch from their perspective, of course. So, but that kind of would allow players to cheat. Like, two players could lobby snipe each other, and one player that's spectating could tell the other player enemy positions and stuff. But I still think spectate mode being brought to turf, ranked, salmon, and league would be a would be really nice to have nonetheless. Another thing they should add is a replay feature, so players could save matches as replays. This would be really nice if a player wanted to watch back a really good match or wanted to self-evaluate, I guess, so that they could improve their gameplay a little bit. And some fun options for that would be like a rewind or slow-mo button, similar to like something that Smash Ultimate has or Mario Kart 8. So yeah, this would be I definitely think this would be a really nice feature to have. Splatoon 1 and 2 had a lot of lag issues, and one of the biggest factors in that is because like there's no way to play with the region that you're in. You're kind of forced to play worldwide, I guess. So yeah, that definitely caused a lot of lag issues. So for Splatoon 3, definitely add an option to play either worldwide or regional. So like, you know, if you live in North America and if you chose regional, you could only play with players in North America. So yeah, again, this would definitely help reduce lag problems. Something I think Turf War definitely needs is better weapon distribution, because there's been a lot of times in Splatoon 1 and 2 where I would get paired with teams with you know, bad weapon compositions. Like there's been plenty of times where there'd be too many chargers on one team, and you know, chargers, they don't paint as good as other as other weapons. So yeah, the weapon distribution definitely needs to be a lot better for Turf War, just so the match doesn't go terribly for one team. Of course, one of the biggest complaints about Splatoon 2 in particular is the rank system. It was pretty awful in that game. It was decent in the first game though, but yeah, second game it was pretty bad. So I think what they should do is for C- and to S+, I think they should just use the same formula as Splatoon 1, but for Rank X, I think the power feature for Rank X does work, but please just cap the points to like minus and plus 15. Anything over that feels way too much, and it should be more dependent on how you perform during the match. Like it should depend on, like, I don't know, like how much you painted, how many people you killed, how many times you died, how many times you used your special, instead of pretty much just having it completely based on RNG. That was something that was really unfair in the second game. And also there should be an option where you could wait longer to queue with players that are closer to your power. They should also do the same thing for League as well, where you can choose the option to wait longer to get a team closer to your power, and also they should cap the points at minus 15 and plus 15 just to make it a little more balanced, I guess. You know, just make it so like losing doesn't feel so painful, I guess. And also it should be dependent on your team's performance, of course. So yeah, that would be really nice to have, because that was a huge pain in Splatoon 2. To be honest, I think it's time that they just get rid of rotations altogether, because the rotations were kind of a nuisance in the first two games. Like there'd be a lot of times where I wanted to play, but there'd be one or two maps that I didn't like playing on rotation that would completely discourage me from playing the game, and I'd have to wait again until some maps that I did like would come up in rotation. So yeah, honestly I think the best thing to do now is to just stop doing the whole rotation thing. Instead, let us choose what mode we wanted to play, whether it be, you know, Turf War, of course, or Zones, Tower Control, Rainmaker, Clan Blitz, or whatever new modes are going to be available. And then after that, we should vote for which map we want to play, just like in, just similar to Mario Kart 8, when you play Mario Kart 8 online. And then after that, we'll be able to choose our weapons, so that we can choose what weapons are favored on that map. And yeah, I just think that would work really well. Honestly, I don't really see the point in Salmon Run only being open for certain periods of time. I don't know why they decided to do that. So honestly, if they're gonna bring back Salmon Run, I think they should just leave it open at all times. And also, there definitely needs to be more maps. Like, Salmon Run only has 5 maps right now, so like, why not make 10? And also, there should be different types of modes. Like, right now we have 3 waves, why not have 5 or 10 waves, or even an endless mode where the game ends once everyone dies, disconnects, or decides to vote the match to end, I guess. So, yeah, that would be really cool to have. The past 2 games were pretty limited on communication options. Like, you only had a booyah this way, and if you died, you could say ouch. But there should be more. Like, at least give like the left D-pad and right D-pad more communications options. Like, I need help, or enemy spotted over here. Stuff like that, I think, would really help the game out. They should definitely also add more to the shooting range. One thing they should definitely add is the ability to equip whatever abilities you wanted onto your gear so that you could experiment with it. So, for example, if you equipped main power up to your splatter shot, you'd be able to see a bunch of main power up to your splatter shot. You'd be able to see just how much less spread you get on your shots, stuff like that. And also another cool thing would be to have a dummy that would kill you with whatever main weapon, sub weapon, and special weapon you give it. So like you could experiment with armor, or if they bring that back, or bomb defense up. That would be really nice to have. And also there should be an option to have infinite ink and infinite special time, just so you could practice aim drills or, you know, and special drills and stuff like that. Creating gear builds was a pretty big hassle in both games. It was pretty much completely RNG in Splatoon 1, and ability chunks in Splatoon 2 did make the process a lot easier, but it was still a very tedious grind. So I think what they should just do is give us the ability to buy chunks for a certain amount of coins or even sea snails. This would definitely make grinding for creating a good weapon build a lot less tedious. And also, I think they should also just make it so adding ability chunks won't be as expensive. Like, make adding chunks to the first slot 5, second slot for 10, and then second slot for 15. That might be, I'm not sure if that would be too cheap, but I would argue that it was pretty, ability chunks, or, you know, adding ability chunks to your gear was kind of expensive in the second game. So now let's get into more what I want to see return from the first game and second game. So as for main weapons, I'd say just bring every single main weapon back. There's really no weapons I don't want to see return. Of course, there's some weapons that in the second game that I hate dealing with, but I'd say just bring them back anyway. And also, I do agree with a lot of other players saying this. I do think every single weapon should at least get a third kit, just to really increase the weapon variety. As for sub-weapon returns, the ones I would really like to see return the most are, of course, Splat Bomb, Suction Bomb, Curling Bomb, Auto Bomb, Burst Bomb, Splash Wall, Ink Mine, Disruptor, Beacon, Fizzy Bomb, and Torpedo. I would say what specials I would want to see come back, but now it kind of seems like that they're going to combine specials from Splatoon 1 and 2. So I really don't know what to expect of specials, so that's all I have to say about them for now. As for stages that I'd like to see return the most, those would be Urchin Underpass, Walleye Warehouse, Airwana Mall, Black Valley Skate Park, Kelp Dome, Bluefin Depot, Flounder Heights, Hammerhead Bridge, Museum to Alfonsino, Mahi Mahi Resort, Piranha Pit, Anchovy Games, The Reef, Muscle Forge Fitness, Starfish Main Stage, Humpback Pump Track, Inkblot Art Academy, Sturgeon Shipyard, Snapper Canal, Mako Mart, Schellendorf Institute, Wahoo World, New Abligor Hotel, and Skipper Pavilion. Of course, I don't expect all of those maps to make a return. I know it sounds like a lot, but those are just the ones I'd like to see return the most. And as for what abilities I'd like to see return the most, those are going to be, for me, Comeback, Haunt, Ink Recovery Up, Ink Resistance Up, Ink Saver Main, Ink Saver Sub, Ninja Squid, Quick Respawn, Quick Super Jump, Run Speed Up, Swim Speed Up, Special Charge Up, Special Power Up, Special Savers, Stealth Jump, Bomb Defense Up DX, Respawn Punisher, and Thermal Link, as well as Main Power Up. But if you're going to bring Main Power Up, please don't let the ability buff the damage to any weapons, because that did make quite a few weapons come pretty close to being really overpowered, like Kensa Splattershot Pro, well, not Kensa, Splattershot Pro, and Dually Squelchers even. And to end it all off, I'd like to see what kind of weapon adjustments I want. For dualies, I'd like to see the dualies roll faster, and also I don't want there to be as much end lag, because dualies right now feel pretty slow for the kind of weapon they are, or weapons rather. So yeah, just make them roll a little bit faster and decrease the end lag just to make them feel more mobile and stuff like that. For Blaster and Range Blaster, just slightly decrease the end lag so they don't feel as slow. For Clash Blaster, just decrease the blast radius a little bit. It feels too big, and for the most part, it leads to a lot of brain-dead gameplay where you just hold, if you just hold the button, you'll likely get a kill, and you don't have to actually put in the effort to aim a little more. So yeah, that made Clash Blaster really annoying. And finally, for GooTuber, I'd like the charge speed to be between that of the Squiffer and the normal charger, because it doesn't really make sense for a shorter range charger to have a slower charge speed than the regular charger. But as a result of that, I'd say get rid of the partial charge kill, just so, because I feel like having a quick charge speed with the ability to kill with a partial charge would be kind of annoying. So yeah, in exchange for the charge speed increase, I'd say just get rid of the partial charge kill. So yeah, that is everything that I would like to see happen in Splatoon 3. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and also I would like to hear some more of your guys' ideas as well. So yeah, definitely tell me that in the comments. Other than that, that's the end of the video. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to smack the like button, and if you're considering unsubscribing to the channel, be sure to hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. And if you want to support me even more, be sure to check the links in the description. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.